When you want to build something positive and for and by other people, that it's not corrupt or subverted, well, you better start at the bottom floor and work your way up, because those are up in the middle floors and top floors, they've been subverted. And it takes men and women of integrity and honor not to be subverted by the lures of capitalism and whining and dining and the various other sort of things that happen behind closed doors that get individual human beings to subvert their humanity, to do a little bending of the arm, what's good for me, but, you have a society as a whole. When you have thousands of people in positions of authority, whether they're in corporate or public or in government, when individuals subvert their integrity, I'll bend my rules a little bit to help you and you help me, then and they can go home and sleep each night because they don't feel guilty for something they may have done that's had an adverse effect. But when you get thousands of those people all doing that individually, it creates an amorphous mass that is oppressive to all, that no one takes accountability for or responsibility for, but then we end up living under the oppression of a system that we've actually created by our own greed, our own self-interest, that is harmful, and we all say, I don't know what to do. Well, what is to do? You got to start somewhere. So you can start anywhere around this 360-degree circle, but the best place to start and the only place to start, and when you have wise men who have historically, repetitively been leading nations, people like Abraham Lincoln, people like Mackenzie King in Canada, and Pierre Elliott Trudeau, we recognize, and the world recognize, and even those who seek to oppress us and enslave us recognize, control the currency, control the nation. And the Canadian Action Party in Canada is after our currency, and we have the means and path and direction to get there. But the only way we can get there, our government's not doing it, they're not talking about it. We need the people to stand up, recognize this one simple facet, and then all of a sudden, boom, get us into power and get us into the government and stand together and put your voice in power. And when we're there, this is exactly what we will do. And when we do that, you have a nation that can build itself again and chart its course into the prosperous future and its security and prosperity meant for, by, and of the people that people have created for themselves. And to do that, you need a collective, unified whole, and stop buying into this propaganda. I go Democratic, I go Republic, I go liberal, I go conservative. You're buying into the same propaganda both sides. What we have, it does not work. If it worked, everything would be fixed right now. We got to start from scratch, from the people. So it's time to lay down your scythes, lay down your pitchforks, lay down your stomping of straw, and get your boots off, and get in the fray. Become aware. Speak to your colleagues. Bring people to this Canadian Action Party and build this thing up, because it's the only vehicle we have in Canada to save us. And if it's not going to be saved, then not one person in this country of 30 million people, not one person has the right or will have the right to complain about what things are and where they become and how world events are and how why don't we have these freedoms that we once had before. We are entering into a police state, and that's what's actually happening in your country as well. And unless the people come together, this is the only path to do it, then no one should complain. The bottom line is the bottom line. It's kind of like, Mark and Susan, it's kind of like looking at the Hoover Dam. Before you can break any large bridge or a large dam or cement device, if you will, you got to crack a hole in it. And you won't take the whole dam down all at once, but until you crack a few holes in it and a few leaking coming out, then until you actually get through one of those waves, then the whole system cannot come down. But this wall that they're building that is entrenching us all needs to have some holes poked in it. And the only way to do that is as a collective, unified whole. And we are convinced, concerned, and committed to ensuring that we poke some holes in this darn thing and we bring it down, but we can only do that with the collective will of our nation. And we do it here, it will follow in other nations, because when they see that you can take control, you can stand up to these guys, you don't have to be afraid of them. That is empowering in of itself, and the results are as simple as immediately taking control of the Canadian currency and our national debt for the Canada, Canada Bank of Canada. Many of these problems start going away very, very quickly, because we do not have the resources to take care of our seniors, take care of our students going in these debts, take care of our infrastructure. It's because we don't have the financial resources. We are a rich nation. Where are the resources going? We're paying it out in debt in the multiple billions of dollars not to ourselves where it should be coming.
Exactly, indeed. And I would like to play small clips. Exactly what happens in your country happens here too. We jammed the House of Rep, House of Senate, and we told them, don't touch our $700 billion taxpayer money. Instead, you use it for our infrastructure of our beloved country, United States of America. And then at the same time, Mr. Obama, he voted yes, John McCain voted yes, and finally they never paid attention to our, be jamming lines all the time and said, no, 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 don't do that, hell with the Citibank, hell with the other automotive industry. They create a mass. They're responsible for their own masses. We are not going to clean up their masses with our beloved taxpayer money. They wanted just to bail out their mafia friends. So basically, what happened that instead the $700 billion divided by 300 million people, each one we could get about $30,000 to $40,000 tax bonus, So we could do much more better with that than to bail out their mafia friends. And this is one of the House of Reps is talking. Just one moment, please.
Gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman from Texas.
Speaker, I have permission to address the House for 1 minute, revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker, I also come to the floor today to talk about this $700 billion bill that's in front of us. I use the term bill advisedly because we have seen no bill. We are here debating talking points on perhaps what is one of the largest fundamental change in our nation's financial system in its history. The House Republicans have been cut out of the process. Not only have we been cut out of the process, we've also been derided by the leadership of the Democratic Party and called unpatriotic for not participating. Mr. Speaker, I have been thrown out of more meetings in this Capitol in the last 24 hours than I ever thought possible as a duly elected representative of 820,000 citizens of North Texas. Mr. Speaker, politics is a full contact sport, and I understand that, but it is a full contact sport in the light of day in the public arena. Since we didn't have hearings, since we didn't have markups, let's at least put this legislation up on the internet for 24 hours. That's what Thomas was made for. Let's do that and let the American people see what we have done in the dark of night. After all, I have not gotten any more mail, any more emails on any other subject than this one that is before us today. Mr. Speaker, I understand we're under martial law as declared by the Speaker last night. I think it's ironic. House Republicans have not been needed for a single thing in this House to assure passage for the last 22 months. And today, we're going to be asked to vote for a bill for political cover because Democrats are too weak to stand up to their Speaker. I yield back.
Gentleman's time has expired. The gentleman from New Jersey.
If this were a dictatorship, it'd be a heck of a lot easier. Just so long as I'm a dictator.
So, dear friends, you could hear it. Same thing happened in Canada and United States. Is both pretty much the same status. We are all fighting for our countries to be United States must stay United States. We have our Constitution, Republic of USA, and the Canadian, they have to stay with their own Constitution as well. We say no to North American Union. And actually, one of our friends called in from, I believe, area code 416. And if that person wants to call back right away, we will take his or her call as well. And right now, open lines 1-347-884-9191. Please press 1, and then we will bring you right away. And Dr. Moulden, have you see same thing happening in our country?